to Bradley Funeral Homes and Simple Cremations Continuum of Care interview. This is our first interview, and I'd like to welcome Connie Pizzaro.
Hello.
Connie has been our cherished friend and supporter for a long time, and I appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to start off a little bit with sort of my mission. So, as a clinical social worker and a psychotherapist, I did a lot of research on bereavement support and grief and mourning, and I really felt like funeral service was on an island of its own, and I didn't like that. I wanted to be part of a continuum of care, and I thought that it was best that we be involved in healthcare. And we put together a little marketing group, Austin and I, and went out and visited a lot of healthcare networking societies or groups. And you were a big part of those groups, and you welcomed us and have been part of our organization for a long time. Would you tell us about yourself and about Oasis Senior Advisors?
Absolutely, Scott. Absolutely. So I feel, first I want to say I feel the same way.
Oh, thank you.
Trusted partner and friend. So, as you mentioned, my name is Connie Pizzaro, and I'm the owner of Oasis Senior Advisors. And what we do is we help seniors and their families to find assisted living and memory care communities when being at home is no longer safe for them. So it's a free service that we provide for families. We get compensated by the communities that we refer to. So I've been in business now, May will be 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Wow.
I am so happy.
Yeah.
I love being in this healthcare space. My training profession, my degree is in computer science. So very far removed from the healthcare continuum, but I love it. And I love what I do. So I am married, and as a matter of fact, in May will be 40 years.
Wow.
We can't believe it that we put up with each other for so long. But it's 40 years, and we have 2 adult children, which we love and adore. And I love and adore them because they are both successful and living on their own. Not in my house anymore.
Yes, yes.
So it makes it so easy to love them when they're not in the house. So that's Oasis Senior Advisors, what we do, and services that we provide are totally free. So we usually fit into most people's budgets.
How do you get from IT to healthcare?
Not easy.
Yeah.
Not easy at all. But what happened was life. Life started lifing. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But my husband and I were caring for my mother-in-law, and I got downsized. And so we were trying to figure out what was I going to do. And I didn't know, because IT was my whole life. And I went to a professional retraining, retooling, reinvent yourself workshop, and they talked to me about different things, and I still wasn't feeling anything. And the person they assigned to me said, "What do you want to do next in your life? What are you passionate about?" And I'm passionate about helping people.
Yeah.
I love people. I love kids, and I love the seniors.
Mm.
Everybody else in the middle, I just kind of tolerate. And so he showed me some different things, and I was like, how am I going to, what he wanted me to do was to find something that would marry my passion with a career. Because he said that if I work in my passion, I'll never feel like I'm working.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was going to be true, but you know what?
That's true.
It's true.
Wow.
It's true. I don't feel like I'm working. I do get tired, and sometimes I go, oh my goodness, but I love it. And when you're doing something you love, you just keep on doing it,
Yeah.
you know? So.
Well, I know you're really good at it because we've referred to you many times, and we've heard nothing but stellar, thankful appraisal of what you do. What I was very surprised about was the breadth of services that you provide. This one staff member actually's mother-in-law, father-in-law was not doing well and needed to move from his home. And we recommended you, and they, as I said to you before, they're able to breathe now. They feel so much more comforted that father-in-law's in a good place. So tell us a little bit about the sort of the systems.
Sure, absolutely. And it's funny what you said, that they're able to breathe now. That's really what we pride ourselves on, is helping to reduce the stress associated with making this transition. But what we do is we start out by doing a consultation with the family. And this consultation lets us get a big picture of what the family needs. And that allows us to refer to other professionals. So if they need their house sold, we'll refer them to a realtor. If they have not made arrangements, their final arrangements, we refer them to a funeral home, Bradley and Son.
Thank you.
If they don't have their documents together, then we would refer them to an elder law attorney. So if they're not quite ready to move into a facility, then we refer them to home care. But by doing that consultation, we get a really good holistic view of what's going on and what their needs are. After that, we make recommendations of places that we think would be a good fit. Now, one of the things that I pride myself on is that we will not refer to any place we haven't been in ourselves. So we know the staff, we know the amenities, we know the pricing, we know the residents that are there, the type of residents that's there. So when we make this referral, it's for them, it's personalized. It's not because the place is around the corner, down the street. It's because it's going to meet their needs. So once we make that referral, we will set up the tour for them. We will accompany them on the tour, and we help them in negotiating the pricing.
Wow.
Right? So a lot of people don't know that the price that in an assisted living, memory care communities, it can be negotiated. It depends on what's going on at that time. And we know that. You're not going to get that on the internet.
No. Thank you for the overview. I have a few specific questions for you.
Sure.
Great. So most people want to age in their own home. So when is it appropriate to have another alternative?
Okay. So it's a couple of things you could look at. One is it safe? Is the person safe in their home? Okay. When you notice things like forgot to turn off the stove. Okay. If you come into the home and you see little pills on the floor,
Yeah.
that means medication is not being taken properly. Just dropping the pills. Okay. If you start seeing a lot of falls, okay, a person who's still driving and you notice dents in the car,
Yeah.
and they can't explain where those dents came from, or they go to the grocery store and it's taken them a real long time to come back. It usually means they got lost. Okay. The mail, is the mail piling up in the mailbox? Now, I use that as an example, but someone might say, then Connie, it's time for you to go, because I don't check the mail every day.
Right.
Okay? But it's usually a sign that with the mail is piling up, that they're not paying the bills, they've forgotten about them.
Right.
Okay? So those are things. And in the cleanliness of the house, if the person was a very tidy person and now it's a lot of clutter, those are things that say maybe it's time to make a move. Maybe it's time to start looking.
You know, I was thinking what we said earlier also, there's no harm, no foul in consulting with you.
That's right.
No move has to be made, but to be armed with information and to know what all your resources are, as caregivers see their loved ones closer and closer to needing additional care, it would be very good. Maybe we also need time to adjust and acclimate. So to be able to talk to you at an earlier time instead of when it's a critical time would be helpful.
It would be extremely helpful. A lot of times what I say to clients when they say, well, they tell me, I don't think it's time to make a move yet with mom or dad. And I'll say, okay, so what's going to be your indication? And when you can do this ahead of time, you're not as emotional.
Right.
Because you may say to yourself, well, the moment I see that she's not driving well or dad is, confused and there's dings in the car, that's it.
Right.
But when you're in the midst of it and you see it, you start making excuses for them.
Yeah.
Because you just don't want to do it.
And
So
you probably have a resistant parent too, the one you're caring for. So that could throw you off. That could delay things. That could make things worse.
Absolutely, especially if there were two parents and one passed away and you made a promise.
Right.
I'm going to take care of mom.
Right.
You told dad, I'm going to take care of mom. So there's no way I could possibly place mom. And what I say to my clients, they've made that promise. You're still taking care of her.
Yes.
You're making sure that she gets the best care. And when you think about it, are you a trained professional caregiver?
Right.
No. So are you really what's best for mom? Maybe not so much.
Yeah.
And so we have to look at that. And the other thing we have to think about is you as a caregiver.
Yes.
And that's the thing that a lot of people miss out on. Scott, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but there's a statistic out there. 50% of caregivers, unpaid caregivers, family caregivers, pass away before the person they're taking care of.
I know.
And that's one of the reasons, one of the benefits that I see when people would tease me and say, why do you work so much with a funeral home? Their clients are gone. What good is that for you, Connie? And I would say, well, it's the survivor.
Yeah.
That person who's there is not always the person the family thought would be there.
Yeah.
Because when the caregiver passes away, now they have the person that was being cared for, and everyone is looking around, not me, not me, not me, you, who? What are we now going to do with our loved one? Because the caregiver is now gone.
Yeah. We specifically are building relationships like with you and your company for that exact reason, that we know that our primary job is reverence of the body and the person who died, mourning and grief. But then we watch them walk away, and all these survivors may have a parent that needs help, or aunt or uncle, and we want to make sure we have resources. So thank you for being a resource.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.